Hello and welcome to the Hooniverse and to a brand new video. Now imagine a creature born to hate, a mutated, super intelligent survivor of a brutal and tragic war devoid of pity and any thoughts of peace. A repulsive creature encased in a battle armor that made it deadly beyond anything in the universe. A creature with one objective: to kill anything that is not like itself. Anything that isn't a Dalek. The Daleks have always been a well-known villainous force in the universe. They may have originated on the war-torn planet of Skaro, created in the military bunkers below the surface of the inhospitable world, but within what felt like no time at all, they were terrorizing and exterminating without mercy across the cosmos. But how did Daleks locate the impurities that are all other living things in this wide expanse of the universe? How did they know where to go once leaving Skaro? Well, this is the story of one of the first Daleks to leave Skaro and how it discovered the planet Earth and its defender. This is the history of the Dalek Recon Scout. Now, the Daleks have always been clever. Don't let the pepper pot shape fool you. They are geniuses, so much so they actually removed their creator, Khaled scientist Davros, from their ranks in their early days, with the earliest Daleks directed by their first emperor to build a city for themselves, which they achieved within 2 months. They worked tirelessly, created new travel machines for their mutated forms, experimenting with elements and armour, weapons and genetics. With every passing moment, the Daleks grew stronger. They experimented with power sources, soon transitioning from the confines of electrostatic power to the ability of flight and crafting Dalek sources. They flew amongst the stars, carving out the first Dalek Empire, and it was around this time Dalek scientists genetically engineered advanced Dalek mutants with capabilities far beyond normal. They equipped them with experimental casings and sent them out into space. Designed to fly without the backup of Dalek High Command, these Daleks were elite. It was time to look further into the stars than just those nearby. The Daleks would be the masters of the universe. One of these Daleks, known as Recon Scouts, entered the Sol system and came to Earth in the 9th century, with the intention of claiming the planet for the Dalek Empire. To defeat the Dalek, an army of former enemies banded together. The human army fought the bloodiest of battles against the Dalek, suffering massive casualties. Thousands perished. The Dalek surely ruthless in its attacks. Finally, the army managed to trap the Dalek in what seemed to be netting and set its casing on fire, destroying it and only just won the battle. However, the Khaled mutant inside was not destroyed in the fire. How could primitive humans destroy such an enemy? Perhaps the Dalek lacked intelligence on human capabilities or experienced a malfunction within its casing. One thing we know for sure is that it was defeated. However, because of the fear the Dalek had instilled in its enemies, the warriors that would become known as the Three Custodians cut the Dalek mutant into 3 pieces, with the plan to bury them at opposite ends of the world and forever guard the burial sites as a precaution to prevent the Dalek from ever returning. 2 of the pieces ended up on Anuta Island in the South Pacific and Siberia, Russia. However, while crossing the area that would one day become Sheffield, the 3rd custodian was killed, preventing him from carrying out his task. The 3rd piece of the Dalek was left with the custodian's body, where he fell and remained there for over 1,000 years. Over the next millennium, the Dalek's pieces were guarded by the Order of the Custodians, the descendants of 2 of the original custodians, who remained unaware of the fate of their 3rd companion. The Battle of Hope Valley became a legend, with at least 1 book being written about it, while pieces of the Dalek casing were recovered at some point, including its gunstick, and sold on the black market. Buried by the passage of time, the lost custodian was eventually found beneath Sheffield Town Hall, and the location became an archaeological dig, and by New Year's Day 2019, the lost custodian's piece of the Khaled mutant was found by archaeologists Lynn and Mitch. The 3rd piece of the Khaled was accidentally revived under ultraviolet light and summoned its other parts. This huge, grotesque Dalek mutant without its casing subsequently took control of Lynn, one of the archaeologists, and used her to gain intelligence, acquire transport, and retrieve its old gunstick. Then, using remnants of its old shell, combined with spare parts found at Dinkle's farm, Lynn built this Dalek a new casing against her will. Finally letting Lynn go, the Dalek went on a rampage. It killed an entire army detachment with ease, and used its unique casing's full capabilities as it fired a missile into their tank, destroying it. The Dalek was intent on contacting its fleet and made its way to the government communications headquarters in order to enact its plan. It shut down all power across the UK in the process. The Dalek was finally stopped by the 13th Doctor and her friends Graham O'Brien, Yasmin Khan, Ryan Sinclair, Ryan's father Aaron, Mitch, and Lynn using a microwave oven which melted its casing. However, the Dalek mutant latched onto Aaron and demanded transport in the Doctor's TARDIS. The Dalek was finally thwarted when the 13th Doctor jettisoned it into a supernova. The Dalek attempted to take Aaron with it, but Ryan managed to reach his father, who fought off the Dalek's control while his son pulled him to safety. In the aftermath of this battle, the crippled Dalek casing ended up in the hands of agents of Jack Robertson, an American businessman. Remnants of the Daleks stuck in the broken, battered casing were later collected by scientist Leo Ragazzi to create a new life form, unknowingly allowing a new race of Daleks to be born. Ragazzi's original new Dalek mutant was the very same Recon Scout in mind as well as in body. The 13th Doctor observed that Dalek consciousness can live within the tiniest fragment of their DNA. The Dalek took control of Ragazzi's infrastructure and made all the necessary orders and purchases to manufacture a vertical farm in Osaka, cloning the mutant over and over again. Meanwhile, the oblivious Robertson allied himself with Joe Patterson, the Technology Secretary of the United Kingdom, unknowing of the living alien elements, and crafted thousands of defense drones based upon the shattered Dalek casing. These new 3D printed drones were fully automated and fitted with riot-suppressing, non-lethal weapons, ready to be rolled out as defenders of the new and more secure age of Britain. So, by 2021, Patterson was elected the Prime Minister and rolled out the defense drones as part of her campaign. However, the Recon Scout mutant had foreseen this, fitting all the casings with lethal weaponry and the ability to be controlled by the clones. Using this new army of defense drones, the Daleks started invading, utilizing UV light to transport thousands of mutants into their new casings, with the intent of using Earth as a base to take over the universe. They exterminated Patterson and Ragazzi and began the invasion. Humans were killed in the streets. A plan was hatched in order to stop this new Dalek war machine. The 13th Doctor, allied with Captain Jack Harkness and her fam, sent the Daleks' original reconnaissance signal into the time vortex and summoned Death Squad Daleks. Now, Death Squad Daleks were the enforcers of the Dalek race's purity, removing unwanted variations from the gene pool the only way a Dalek can: extermination. Before long, a Dalek civil war erupted in the UK, with the Recon Scout and defense drones attacking the Death Squad Daleks, but proving no match for their superior weaponry and defences. Teleporting aboard the Dalek saucer via spatial shift, the first clone, made from those first cells, insisted that it was the last remains of the Recon Scout, and that it had completed the original mission, and given its life for the Dalek cause. Although the clone insisted that it could be purified, the Death Squad Daleks exterminated it, destroying the Recon Scout once and for all. The Recon Scout had been thwarted by its own race, and the 13th Doctor swiftly eliminated the remaining Death Squad Daleks by trapping them in the interior dimensions of an imploding TARDIS stolen from Gallifrey. This was a TARDIS that she sent to die in the void, while Captain Jack Harkness, alongside Ryan and Graham, destroyed the Dalek saucer by planting explosives, begrudgingly rescuing Robertson and escaping using Jack's vortex manipulator as the ship exploded. With that, the Daleks were defeated once again. But could there be more Recon Scouts out there, finding other planets, raging more conquests throughout the cosmos? And if the Recon Scout I've talked about today was one of the first, imagine what a Recon Scout Dalek from a later point in Dalek history would look like, would act like, would kill like. More deadly, more devious, more Dalek. So, that is the history of the Dalek Recon Scout. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, comment below your thoughts, and of course, subscribe to see more. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.